Open borders.
Foreign aid. Open borders.
That's a Koch brothers proposal.
Check out this remarkable video from 2015 from Bernie Sanders where he talks about open borders. It illustrates how much the American body politic has changed over the past 10 years. It is quite remarkable. If you listen to pretty much every word that he says in this short clip, I mean, it could be said at a MAGA rally.
Open borders.
Foreign aid. Open borders.
That's a Koch brothers proposal. The idea, of course, I mean, that's a right-wing proposal which says essentially there is no United States.
But it would make a lot of global poor richer, wouldn't it?
And it'd make everybody in America poor. Then you're doing away with the concept of a nation state. And I don't think there's any country in the world which believes in that.
And here you're seeing a reflection of the anti-globalist left that has disappeared. Many years ago, I actually went with a good buddy of mine, a lefty punk rocker, and I went with him to a anti-globalism rally around the White House. And, you know, all these people look like Antifa today, okay? And they were protesting globalism. And this is what you see, you know, that sentiment is reflected in what Bernie Sanders is saying here. But the modern Democratic Party, the party of the past 10 years, reflects much more the interests of folks like, say, at the World Economic Forum. They're not interested in, they're interested in the nation state, okay? They're interested in blowing up the nation state for their interests.
If you believe in a nation state, or in a country called the United States, or UK, or Denmark, or any other country, you have an obligation, in my view, to do everything we can to help poor people. What right-wing people in this country would love is an open border policy. Bring in all kinds of people who work for $2 or $3 an hour. That would be great for them. I don't believe in that. I think we have to raise wages in this country. I think we have to do everything that we can to create the millions of jobs. Do you know what youth unemployment in the United States of America today? If you're white, a white kid, high school graduate, 33%, a Hispanic, 36%, African-American, 51%. You think we should open the borders and bring in a lot of low-wage workers? Or do you think maybe we should try to get jobs for those kids? So I think from a moral responsibility, we've got to work with the rest of the industrialized world to address the problems of international poverty. But you don't do that by making people in this country even poorer.
Now, let's be clear, we're not throwing in with Bernie Sanders here, nor are we throwing in with MAGA on this point, okay? But for a long time, there was the argument that if you opened up the borders, you know, human capital, people, you know, who could do labor jobs, that sort of stuff, could flow to where they were needed, you know? Like a company needed, you know, people to do X or Y, all right? And these people that would work for lower wages would flow to these places. Well, okay, in a free market, that can work, all right? There would be ebbs and flows, and the market adjusts for wages. Remember, wages are just a price. You can't arbitrarily, by the way, just as an aside, you can't arbitrarily set a price. You set in the minimum wage, you don't make the price of unskilled labor, you don't just raise it arbitrarily. It just doesn't work that way. Unskilled labor has a price in the marketplace and stays that way. And if you raise the minimum wage above the market rate for that labor, what happens is people lose jobs, hours get cut, you know, kiosks show up at McDonald's. Okay, but that's for another time. What I think is remarkable here is how much America has changed and how much kind of the Obama sort of Clinton sort of, you know, globe first, America second thing has, you know, entrenched itself within the Democratic Party. It is really amazing how much times have changed.